Hi guys, and welcome back to Molly's Adventures. Today we're sitting in on a Randy Johnson interview here at Hodgetown.
I guess the first thing is obviously I'm very happy and to be here. It's been a long time coming. I think we had a Zoom conference call probably about 6-7 months ago, and we were knee deep in COVID, and at that point it was just a conversation with me saying how much I would really like to come to Amarillo and see the facility and meet the employees and see the field and see the city, and so that time has come and I'm here and pretty excited.
How did you get out to the Diamondback affiliates, and how much of an instructional role do you sort of play with the pitchers there?
This is about the 5th affiliate I've been to. I've been to quite a few other ones, and basically it varies in what I'm going there for. A lot of times it's just more in the lines of what this one will be, this visit it will be. More meeting employees and saying hello to the players. But in the past, dressing out in my uniform and watching pitchers throw, giving them a little bit of feedback, because I still enjoy doing things from that perspective. But now that I've moved on from my playing days, I'm now working a little bit more in the capacity of doing what I'm asked to do here, and that's be an ambassador for the Arizona Diamondbacks. I got inducted in the Hall of Fame and represent them in 2015. So since then, I've been to I would say probably about 5 different Diamondback affiliates at all different levels. AA here, Reno was AAA, Visalia was A-ball, and so on and so on. So it's just whatever their needs are, whether it's just to come and say hi or watch people, is pretty much what I do.
What can you say about minor league baseball and what it means not only to the major league organizations as a feeder, but also to communities and to players and
Yeah, before you got here, I talked to a lot of the working staff here, about 25, 30 employees here, and I told them minor league baseball is the foundation to Major League Baseball. It's the training ground for the Major League team. If you didn't have that, you wouldn't have the major leagues. You wouldn't be able to outfit a team because basically every minor league organization has their players and they're grooming them to be major league players, and you need that because a lot of players aren't ready. History dictates that there's only been a handful of players that have gone from high school or college to the major leagues. All the other ones have to be groomed at some level for a certain period of time to go on to the major league level. So whether it's Amarillo or another city, another town, they're all important. They were instrumental to my development. I was in the minor leagues for 4 years, rookie ball, A-ball, AA, AAA. I didn't jump from one level to the other. I was there the whole year. When the season was over, I went to instructional league, and then I would go home for a month or so, and then I would go back to the next level. I worked up the totem pole, and eventually, got the phone call when towards the end of the year, September call-up in 1988 with the Montreal Expos. But minor league baseball is extremely essential to Major League Baseball. It's the fabric of baseball. Some of the greatest players have been to minor league baseball. It's pretty cool.
Have you got much of an impression of the pitchers here, the staff here?
What's that?
Have you got much of an impression on the pitchers here, the staff in Amarillo? Have you take a look at them yet, or is that something you're going to look at today?
Well, I'm here more in the lines of talking to the media, talk to the employees. Did a meet and greet with them. I don't think we're about 5 days away from the season being over. I live in Phoenix, and so minor league camp is there, and so I go to the minor league camp and watch a lot of the players, and then later in the year when they actually break spring training is when I have an opportunity to go to a minor league affiliate based on where their needs are and where they'd like me to go.
What's your opinion of pitch counts for the big leagues? And as players move up, you know, there's always this system, even in the minor leagues, where young guys, especially if they're bonus babies or whatever you want to call them now, pitch counts and so forth. Were you on something like that when you pitched? And how do you feel that has an effect, good or bad, when someone gets to the major leagues?
Well, when I was in the minor leagues, we're talking the early 80s, 84, 85, 86. I don't really remember back that far. To remember if I had pitch counts, essentially I think the word pitch count was mentioned in the minor leagues and even at the major league level, but at the major league level I think it was, you know, something that, depending upon who you were and how you were, you know, at the level of your pitching, I think kind of dictated what your pitch count was. I think the game has changed in certain areas. There's more pitch count, there's more watching a pitcher at the minor league and even at the major league level now than there was 40 years ago, 30 years ago.
What's your impression of this stadium here, and how does it compare to the AA facilities you pitched out, I guess, you were in Jacksonville with the
Jacksonville,
Expos?
Florida. How would it compare?
Yeah.
It was like 40 years ago. They didn't even have cell phones then.
Yeah.
So I would say it's incredible. I would say that, you know, minor league facilities are miniature major league ballparks to some extent, with the suites and the facilities and the working facilities, the training facilities. Some are extremely elaborate. You know, I've been to about 10 of them, but the ones that I've been to have been extremely nice. So to compare them to 40 years ago, is no comparison. It would be like you going on a bus 40 years ago and going on a bus now, a Greyhound bus. You know, their technology's come a long ways, and you see that in any you know, category or area.
You've been involved with several different organizations.
8 to be exact. I think 8.
With us being affiliated with the Arizona Diamondbacks, what can you say about the Arizona organization?
Well, I won a World Series with them. I won 4 Cy Youngs, and I'm in the Hall of Fame and representing them. I think, you know, I was also on the, you know, team in 2004. We lost 111 games, but on the other side of that, that happened after I'd won a World Series. So I've been on both sides of the track, per se, and you know. Individually, I've done some winning and I've done some losing, and I think while I still enjoy talking about that stuff to the minor league kids, I think that's where I'm valuable in sharing that. I think you know, the game has changed in the sense that, you know, more things have been implemented in baseball, and it's not about necessarily trying to, you know, most kids already have velocity and they already know how to pitch, and so I think, you know, we're really into all the metrics of the game, and, you know, sometimes, you know, what I feel in my stomach and what I see in my eyes, it will far outweigh what someone tells me on a laptop. And I think if I can go into a bullpen, I think I can tell someone that a little bit easier but kids are now, in this generation, are more familiar with cybermetrics and all that of the game. So Diamondbacks have been a great facility, great organization. Every organization has been great to me. So I'm very clear. I still live in Arizona. It's my home. So that's why, you know.
This is the 20th anniversary of their winning the World Series, and also September the 11th. It's an emotional time for everybody. What do you remember most about taking the field when we first guys went back on action after September 11th and the major leagues allowed guys back on? What stands out about that to you 20 years later?
Walking ground zero during the World Series and the ground's still smoldering. I'll never forget that feeling. I don't remember much of the regular season, but when we were asked, the first 2 games were in Arizona, And then the next 3 games were in New York, and we had an off day, and they asked us if we, the players, that it wasn't mandatory, but if the players wanted to go walk ground zero and support the responders, the first responders, and the people that were working there, shake their hands and tell them, how important they are, and quite a few of the players, if not all the players and coaching staff, went to ground zero and experienced that. And it's the one thing that I remember more than anything else in the World Series, because it far outweighed anything, and so it was very impactful in my memory bank.
The Diamondbacks haven't had the best of the season so far. What would you say if you're looking at, advising the president and CEO in your job title?
They don't ask me to do that stuff. So I just I'm here to do what I do here. And
okay.
yeah, I don't sit in on board meetings and stuff like that.
Do you have any input on player development or any of that?
I don't.
Okay.
No.
What
They have their coaches, and
Okay.
I come to Amarillo, and I go to other minor league affiliates and sit down and talk to the minor league kids, and go to the ballpark in Arizona and do meet and greets, and that's what I do now.
What are your thoughts on the way that baseball has been re-engineered to either advantage hitters or pitchers?
What's that?
What are your thoughts on the way that the baseball has been re-engineered? Like a couple years ago, the Major League Baseball had the ball engineered to fly farther, but we saw a lot more home runs. Now we're not seeing them as much.
I don't really follow that stuff too much. I really don't. I played 26 years of professional baseball. That's more than the average person. I think as soon as I retired, I really wanted to do other things beyond just baseball. So for about 6 or 7 years after baseball, I just really vegged. I've had 5 knee surgeries, 3 back surgeries, and I got a left torn rotator cuff, and I got a right torn rotator cuff. My body's taken a beating for 26 years. And so I don't really stay up to date on how important the shift is, or putting a guy, the new rules that are implemented. What do I think of them? They're rules now. They didn't come to ask me what I thought of them. What do I think of them? They are what they are. The game was pretty good 100 years before I was playing it. I think what you're seeing now, you asked me what I think of the minor league ballpark. It's unbelievable, but that's where we are now. It's 2021. It's not 1980. It was pretty good for 1980. It was probably better than 1950. And who knows where the ballparks will be in another 20 years. Everything's really nice. Travel's much better. Equipment is much better. Maintenance crews on the field are unbelievable. The rules probably haven't stopped. The one rule that it wasn't even a rule, but the one thing while I was playing baseball, they were trying to quicken the game up. I've been retired for 11 years, and this was something that they would talk to the players in, what could we do to quicken the game up? So we're talking about something they were bringing up 15, 20 years ago, and the game's really no quicker, but look at all the other rules that have changed. Look at the rule where you have, 15 seconds to get on the mound and pitch? Has that changed the game? I don't know. Why can some pitchers pitch a 2.5-hour game and other games last 4 hours, and it's still a 9-inning game? I don't know. I don't have the answers to that. I just enjoy watching the game just like you. But I don't follow all the nuances and the changes as much now.
You were a very intimidating force in the mound, especially against left-handed hitters. A lot of guys have mysterious groin pulls, on the left side before they have to face you. How much of that was a foundation of your game, intimidation? Do you see that much in any of today's pitchers that you can point to?
I just went out there and pitched. I didn't mean to hurt anybody's feelings. And a lot of times left-handers, got hits off me, home runs, and so I just enjoyed the game for what it was. I try to develop every year And when I started peaking, I think it was easier for me to see things where I needed to improve to try to get myself a little bit better. But early in my minor league days, those are extremely impactful. Minor league days are extremely impactful to the development of minor league players. And that's why minor league facilities like this and around the country for at different levels, facing that competition and having the facilities to further your development. The coaches, a lot of them are former major league players, so they have the ability to teach the right way of playing. But I went through all that, and I just go out and pitch every 5th day, and tried to learn a little bit more about how to win ball games and how to work out and be ready for my next time that I needed to pitch. All the intimidating stuff was nothing I ever said I was, or that I set out to be, or that I was or wasn't.
Randy, I've got one question for you. What, if you can think back, what was, I guess, the pinnacle of the moment where your greatest moment of your career? Do you remember what moment would you say was your greatest moment on the mound?
Well, from an individual standpoint, I threw a perfect game when I was 40 years old against the Atlanta Braves. So that's, that was pretty exciting moment in my career. I never imagined at that age to be able to do that. But that is something that I would tell minor league kids, you got to keep working hard every year, every game, because you don't know when your career's over. And when the year's over, your career's over, then you can evaluate what your best game was, what your best year was. I was just never content with anything. I always was driven to go out and do the best that I could, and to be able to throw a perfect game at age 40, that was my best individual performance. But obviously when we go to spring training in February, we are all thinking about, and most teams, most organizations, when you go to spring training, are getting ready for a long season. But that long season, hopefully you're going to the playoffs and have a chance to go to the World Series. And to be able to do that once in my career, I feel very fortunate that I was able to get to a World Series, because there's some Hall of Famers and lots of other great players that have never been to a World Series and never had that experience. So from a team standpoint, it would be the World Series, obviously.
There you go.
What is the Diamondbacks organization's future plans for supporting youth involvement with their minor league affiliates to produce the next generation of Diamondback fans?
The development for our minor league organizations is as good, if not better, than any other organization. The development of youth baseball in Arizona is extremely strong. Major league players, from when I was playing in Arizona till now, are a big part of making a monetary donation for the development of baseball fields. And so those are throughout all of Arizona. And so those fields are used by youth baseball for their further advancement in baseball. And then the minor league organization for the Diamondbacks at all the levels, I have an opportunity to get to watch a lot of these young players come out of high school or college, and now they're playing professional baseball. And so this is an opportunity for me to meet them, and then a couple of months later get to come watch them in a real game and watch them actually go to work and play in an exciting environment for them. So I would say the development is extremely good and strong with the Diamondbacks at the players level, at the minor league level, and then also at our level for regular kids wanting the youth baseball in Arizona. because the Diamondbacks make baseball fields readily available, and the players have a bit to do with that as well.
Thank you.
Awesome.